Welcome to Louisiana Superdome, where Steve Robertson and I are on station. Robbie Falk has joined us as well. Your Gene Space 24/7 crew is on station, ready to go. Steve, I believe they're playing from your soundtrack back there in pregame music.
You think so? Well, if it doesn't have a guitar in it, chances are it's not my soundtrack. But be that as it may, David, a great venue. We have wanted to be here for a postseason game. That's not the case, but we are back for a first trip to New Orleans in a long time for the Bulldogs.
And if Mississippi State should be able to conclude the season in this venue, I think that'd be satisfactory to everybody. A long way to go starting today, Louisiana-Lafayette. All right, let's talk a little bit about the opponent. Known for a very good running game, Coach Billy Napier, who's a rising star in profession, his second year. I don't expect this to be a 56-10 walkover like it was last season on Scott Field.
No, I don't think so. Even though the personnel is different for both teams, UL has a young quarterback. He's got a few starts under his belt, 3 starts as a freshman. Last year served as a backup, did play several games. This will be a new atmosphere, new environment for him, but he's not going to be just a fresh fish off the boat. Bulldogs also different up front. That pass rush, we're going to see how much bite they have, David. We understand there's a lot of bark, but you don't have the proven commodities of Montez Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons. And that interior defensive front, that's probably the biggest question mark on the entire roster right now.
Well, it was already a question, and by the way, the Bulldogs have just started warming up. We're putting together a dress-out list as we go. There will not be an official one handed out as best we know at this point. So we're going to just send it to see who is here and, more importantly, who is not here. We do expect the defensive line to be missing a few people. The linebacker position, obviously, social media showed that Willie Gay was at his hometown game last night, not present for today's game. Some other people missing, but Mississippi State will not announce the suspensions per se. We just got to pick it up as we go, and the defense really is where you start looking at missing players right now.
It's true, David, but it's like you said, too. Really, when the game starts, it's going to be about more who is here than who is not here. And there's been a lot of speculation about that. And a lot of people are just like, we've had people ask us, is Cam Dancer playing?
Yes, he's warming up right now.
It's like there's this paranoia almost about this. People want to have some sense of finality about this matter. I don't know if we get all of that today, but I think we'll have a good idea of what the Bulldog fans should expect moving forward.
All right, offensively, of course, everybody wants to see, is Tommy Stevens the real deal? He won the quarterback position, and let's be clear, he won the quarterback position. This was not an arbitrary choice pre-made as soon as he transferred in. He had to win it, and now he has it, but with Keaton Thompson not making the trip to his hometown, your backup's a freshman. So what do you do, Steve? If this game goes as you would like this to go, how many snaps you try to get him in? Do you get Garrett Schrader ready to go? Do you use this as one of his 4 red shirts, or do you think he'll just have to play this whole season?
Well, I think ideally you want to keep the 4-game red shirt deal on him. And, maybe in the fourth quarter of this game, Tommy Stevens is handing the ball off a lot to Colin Hill and Nick Gibson and probably Lee Witherspoon. I mean, we're expecting him now to be full go this year. But Tommy Stevens, from what we've seen, is the real deal. And not only, David, did he win the competition, he's won the locker room. Mm-hmm. He won the locker room and then won the vote for offensive captain, and that is significant. And there are a lot of things that go on. People have these narratives in their mind that how they think things should go. That's not always the case when it comes to these locker rooms. We're going to find out today, this Mississippi State team, are they ready to line up and play behind Tommy Stevens, and I believe they are.
In other words, players know who the best player is, and they rewarded Tommy Stevens by selecting him team captain by a considerable margin. All right, offensively, Javante Peyton, I saw him warming up out there, getting a feel for the turf. Is he one of the guys you're really watching today for his first game to see what he can bring to the Mississippi State offense?
I am. Isaiah Zuber, we're eager to see him in maroon, but for different reasons. We kind of know what to expect from him. He is a proven commodity on the college level. Javante Peyton, this is probably be one of the biggest crowds he's ever played in front of, even though it's probably going to be a pretty modest draw today. But Javante Peyton making the move up from junior college. He was a guy that signed with Ole Miss out of high school, out of Nashville. He's a guy that's impressed every time in fall camp. It's a lot different when there is the possibility and probability of being hit. How he performs today, I think, is big. But he is a guy we expect down the season to have a really big year for Mississippi State.
Quickly, what can you tell us on the situations involving Kareem Walker and Alan Love?
Well, Alan Love, there's been an appeal filed. That is still pending. His initial request for a waiver was denied, and I can't offer any explanations on that sort of stuff. And I don't know the rhyme or reason behind why the NCAA does a lot of things they do when it comes to these waivers. It does kind of seem to be a bit of a shotgun approach at times, David, and you hit some and you miss some. Kareem Walker, in Starkville, not part of the team, didn't make the dress list, hasn't gone through practice. There is some wiggle room there, but that's running out. It's time now for us to know what's going to happen with him, and people need to understand he doesn't have a redshirt year available. So when he gets here and he gets up to speed, hopefully he can be a reserve for Mississippi State, which is kind of what he was signed for. Not that his ability right now or availability is emergent, but at some point this year we're going to need somebody to salt the game away. Could be him.
Also, we certainly expect a large Mississippi State contingent here, certainly compared to the home team, the host team. Will say, do you know of any prospects that will be in today's game or targets Mississippi State has in this area of the world?
Well, Mississippi State can't have unofficial or official visitors here because we're not the host school. But, yeah, there is some players within the area and some younger guys with their families that will make the trip at their own expense. But not a list of players. That'll be kind of one of those hit-or-miss things because it's not an organized Mississippi State event. But the bottom line is not a lot of good games on this morning, so if anybody that wants to see Mississippi State play has the ability to do so.
So we're getting ready to get this thing going. I'll be writing the game story back in Starkville. Mike Nemeth will have a quick story up. Steve, you'll be on the sidelines the entire game shooting and keeping track of action down there. Robbie Falk will be assisting in our coverage down here with the game thread as well. So we're hoping that sometime early in the afternoon we're reporting on another season-opening victory for the Bulldogs for the first time, as best I can tell, in a very long time in a truly neutral setting, because advanced ticket sales for Lafayette has not been very good from what we understand, so it should almost be a semi-home game for the Bulldogs. And as we say, it's good to open a season here. We'd certainly rather finish a season here, but whatever happens today, we'll have a large say in determining are these Bulldogs capable of doing that. So for our crew from GPTV 24/7 here in New Orleans, this is David Murray.